There are words so powerful, so radiant with divine energy, that when spoken with faith, they swing open the doors that once seemed sealed. These words are not ordinary sounds. They are living forces, vibrational keys that match the higher laws of life. The universe responds instantly to words spoken with conviction. For every utterance is a seed, and the soil of spirit never rejects a seed planted in faith. When you stand at a closed door, a door of opportunity, of supply, of love, or of healing, do not knock in fear. Speak instead with authority born of the infinite. Say to yourself, every door I require is now open. The perfect path is revealed. The perfect way is clear. These words are not empty wishes but commands aligned with divine law. They summon invisible helpers, they rearrange circumstances. They attract the right people at the right moment. You are not a beggar before life. You are a creator with the breath of spirit within you. Every word you release carries the imprint of your belief. If your words are fearful, you lock the door tighter. If your words are certain, the door must open. Speak aloud now. I am divinely guided, divinely protected, divinely provided for. No person, place, or thing can oppose my good. Feel how the air shifts when you speak in this way. You are commanding your life to respond to its rightful pattern. Never underestimate the exact words you choose. I now receive my highest good. All channels of supply are open to me. Nothing and no one can stop the flow of divine abundance. These statements are not just affirmations, they are spiritual decrees. When spoken with steady faith, they echo into the unseen, and the unseen must obey. Doors swing wide because the law is impersonal and unfailing. If you find yourself in a place of delay, do not complain or explain. Speak the higher word. There is no delay in divine mind. All that is mine by divine right now comes to me under grace. Let this be your golden key. Speak it when you rise, speak it when you are tempted to fear. Speak it when appearances try to contradict you. Over time you will see how quickly the invisible forces arrange themselves to fulfill your spoken word. Words aligned with spirit do not just open doors of opportunity, they dissolve walls of limitation. They transmute obstacles, erase resistance, and bring into visibility the blessings that already exist for you in the invisible. The door you thought was closed forever is nothing but a shadow in the light of your divine decree. Therefore guard your speech. Choose words of power, of faith, of certainty. Let your lips be the channel of the highest truth. Let every word be a seed of the life you desire. When you speak in this way, you are not pleading, you are invoking. You are calling forth the law that governs all doors and all outcomes. And the law always responds. Spoken words carry a vibration that goes far beyond sound, traveling into the unseen realms where circumstances, opportunities, and relationships are shaped. The power of spoken words as spiritual keys lies in the fact that the universe responds not to empty chatter, but to the tone, intention, and belief behind every utterance. When one understands this, words cease to be casual and become deliberate instruments of creation. Just as a key fits a lock, each phrase spoken with clarity and conviction unlocks a corresponding condition or pathway in life. The power is not in volume but in alignment, not in repetition but in the consciousness that animates the speech. When you speak with a full awareness that life is listening and responding, you step into a creative partnership with the invisible forces of good. Your voice becomes the sound of divine command, and doors that once appeared immovable begin to shift and swing open in response to the vibration you send forth. Words are not neutral. They either open or close doors, attract or repel good, release or restrict flow. People often underestimate the subtle influence of their own language, muttering words of lack, limitation, and defeat without realizing they are literally fastening the locks on their own opportunities. But when one takes hold of the spiritual power of language and uses it consciously, one steps into a completely new dimension of life. The exact words that open doors instantly are those spoken in agreement with the higher laws of abundance, freedom, love, and harmony. These are not words of desperation but words of authority, recognition, and gratitude. By recognizing yourself as a channel of divine power, you give weight to your speech. Every declaration becomes a decree, and decrees carry the force of manifestation. The spoken word works as a spiritual key, because it acts upon the subconscious mind and the universal mind simultaneously. The subconscious mind accepts whatever you affirm as true, and the universal mind responds to the image and vibration embedded in your words. When you speak words of power, you are impressing your subconscious with the picture of your desired outcome, while at the same time activating the cosmic intelligence that governs the flow of life. This dual action is why affirmations and decrees are so effective when spoken aloud. They bypass the inertia of unspoken thought and set into motion a wave of energy that organizes situations and people to match the vibration of your words. By speaking the words of power with certainty, you essentially plant seeds in the invisible soil of spirit, and those seeds must grow according to their nature. The key to using words as spiritual keys lies in precision and feeling. Words must be chosen with care, shaped with clarity, and delivered with conviction. Vague statements produce vague results, while clear and powerful affirmations produce clear and powerful manifestations. For instance, instead of saying, "I hope things work out," one can declare, "Everything I require comes to me now under grace." Instead of saying, "I don't know if I can," one can affirm, "I am divinely guided and empowered in all that I do." Each time you choose words of certainty and power, you are turning the key that unlocks new possibilities. The vibration of faith is felt not only by you, but by the entire field of intelligence that surrounds you. The universe mirrors back the confidence and authority with which you speak. Another essential aspect is consistency. A single statement of power can begin to shift conditions, but sustained and consistent declarations forge a channel through which your good can flow without obstruction. When you speak your chosen words daily, you reinforce the vibration and deepen the groove of belief in your subconscious. This cumulative effect accelerates manifestation. Just as a key must be turned fully in the lock to open a door, your words must be spoken consistently and wholeheartedly to achieve the full unlocking effect. It is not about strain or force, but about unwavering alignment with the truth you declare. Over time, your environment begins to rearrange itself to match the energy you've been projecting through your words. Understanding the power of spoken words also involves recognizing the creative force of every casual remark. Idle complaints, sarcasm, or self-deprecating humor can undermine the vibration you are working to establish. Every word plants a seed. Some seeds are of weeds, others of fruit. To wield your words as spiritual keys, you must cultivate the discipline to speak only that which uplifts, affirms, and harmonizes with your vision. Even when circumstances look contrary, the spiritual law remains unchanged. Speaking words of power in the midst of challenge is often the very thing that dissolves the challenge. It's a matter of training your tongue to follow your higher knowing rather than appearances. Your words also carry emotional energy, and this emotion acts as the fuel that propels them into manifestation. Saying words mechanically has limited power. Saying them with deep feeling and conviction infuses them with magnetic force. When you speak, feel the truth of what you are saying. Imagine the door already open, the opportunity already yours, the abundance already flowing. As you embody the reality in your imagination, your words become more than statements. They become lived experiences in the present moment. This alignment between feeling, thought, and speech amplifies the effect exponentially. The universe responds to the vibrational totality of what you are projecting, and your words become the audible expression of that totality. The very act of speaking words of power also shifts your identity. Each time you declare, "I am," followed by an affirmation of your divine right or your desired condition, you are literally reprogramming your sense of self. And as your identity shifts, your outer reality follows. The door-opening effect of words, then, is not just about moving external events, but about transforming you into the kind of person for whom such doors are naturally open. This is why it's not just about saying the words, but about embodying them, living as though they are already true, allowing them to seep into your daily attitude, decisions, and interactions. Over time, the world cannot help but mirror the new self-image you have affirmed. Another reason words act as keys is because sound itself is creative. Ancient traditions have always known the power of sound vibrations to shape matter and consciousness. Modern science now affirms that sound waves can influence particles and patterns. When you speak words of power, you are not only sending a mental signal, but creating a sonic vibration that carries your intent into the quantum field of possibility. This is why it's valuable to speak aloud rather than merely think affirmations. The physical act of using your voice adds another layer of potency. It engages your breath, your nervous system, your auditory senses, and the energetic field around you. All of this converges to form a concentrated beam of intention that can pierce through appearances and unlock the reality you desire. It is also important to recognize that the universe does not judge your words. It simply mirrors them. If you say, "I am always unlucky," the law responds just as faithfully as it does when you say, "Everything works out perfectly for me." This is why becoming conscious of your habitual speech is crucial. Listen to the way you describe yourself, your finances, your relationships, your health. Each statement is a command to the subconscious and a message to the universe. By transforming your habitual speech into deliberate affirmations of your desired reality, you gradually reorient the entire trajectory of your life. Each word you speak can either reinforce an old pattern or initiate a new one. When you fully grasp the power of spoken words as spiritual keys, life becomes less about struggle and more about alignment. You realize you are never locked out of your good, you simply need to find the right key. The right words, spoken in the right spirit, at the right time. And those words are not hidden or mysterious. They are simple declarations of truth, charged with faith. Spoken from the knowing that you are connected to a boundless source. The moment you speak them with genuine authority, you feel a shift inside you, and that inner shift is the first sign that the outer door is swinging open. The external results are simply the reflection of the internal decree. This understanding allows you to approach every area of your life with confidence. Whether it is financial increase, creative expression, healing, or harmonious relationships, you can use words as your spiritual keys. The formula remains the same. Know the truth of your divine connection. Select words that reflect that truth. Speak them aloud with conviction and consistency, and watch as the unseen law responds with precision. Over time, you develop an unshakable faith in the process. Doors open not by luck but by law, and the law is activated by the words you speak. You become the keeper of your own keys, and every phrase you utter is another turn of the lock, unlocking the infinite possibilities waiting on the other side. To speak with authority and faith, rather than pleading or hoping, is to step into the true creative power of the spoken word. When you approach life as a beggar hoping for crumbs, you affirm lack and limitation. When you approach life as an heir of the infinite, you affirm abundance, harmony, and ease. Authority is the natural state of one who knows their oneness with the divine. Faith is the confidence that the unseen law will respond. Together, authority and faith create a vibration that compels doors to open, obstacles to dissolve, and opportunities to appear. This way of speaking is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is recognizing the principle that governs all manifestation, and positioning yourself as a conscious participant in that principle. When you speak from authority, you do not ask life to bless you. You claim the blessing that already exists in the invisible realm. You do not plead for the door to open. You declare that the perfect door is already open. You do not hope for a miracle. You acknowledge that the miracle is already in motion. This shift in speech from supplication to declaration transforms your inner state, as well as your outer results. It moves you from the energy of waiting to the energy of possessing. It places you in the vibration of the outcome, rather than the vibration of the problem. Life mirrors back this vibration unfailingly. The doors that were locked respond not because you forced them, because your words aligned with the higher reality, where the door was never locked at all. Speaking with faith also is holding to your declaration, even when appearances contradict it. Faith is not fragile, it does not waver with every gust of circumstance. Faith is steady and serene, grounded in the knowing that the unseen is more real than the seen. When you speak words of faith, you are building a bridge from the invisible to the visible. Each time you repeat your declaration, you are reinforcing the pattern, chiseling a pathway through which your good must flow. This is why many spiritual traditions emphasize affirmations and decrees. They are not just positive thinking but vibrational commands that summon forth the substance of your desired reality. Faith energizes your words, making them magnetic to the conditions you seek. Authority in speech also comes from clarity of identity. You must know who you are in order to speak as one having authority. If you think of yourself as small, powerless, or unworthy, your words will carry that vibration. But if you identify as a co-creator with the infinite, your words will carry the vibration of certainty and power. Each "I am" statement you make becomes a creative edict. Saying, "I am always struggling," reinforces struggle. Saying, "I am divinely supplied," reinforces supply. Authority begins with the self-concept. As you shift your identity, your speech automatically changes, and your speech then reshapes your experience. This is why it is so important to practice seeing yourself as the person for whom doors open easily, opportunities flow, and blessings arrive under grace. Speaking from authority and faith is also a discipline. It requires the conscious choice to reject the language of fear, worry, and doubt, even when those emotions arise. It requires choosing your words deliberately rather than reacting to appearances. When faced with an obstacle, the ordinary reaction is to speak about the obstacle, complain about it, and describe it in detail. The authoritative and faithful approach is to speak the higher word, the word of resolution, harmony, and abundance, regardless of appearances. This act of speaking from the end rather than from the problem begins to dissolve the problem itself. It rewires your mind and conditions your subconscious to accept only outcomes that match your declarations. There is also a tonal quality to speaking with authority and faith. It is not just the words you choose but the energy with which you say them. Pleading carries the tone of lack. Declaring carries the tone of possession. Hoping carries the tone of uncertainty. Affirming carries the tone of certainty. Even your body language, breath, and posture influence the energy of your words. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and speak as though your words cannot fail, because in truth they cannot fail when aligned with the divine principle. This confidence radiates through your voice and your vibration, and the universe mirrors it back to you as open doors and aligned circumstances. When you embody authority and faith in your speech, you no longer feel the need to rush or to force. Your words carry a calm power, like a seed planted in fertile soil. You know it will grow, so you do not dig it up to check on it. You simply nurture it with consistent attention and aligned action. This calm certainty is magnetic. It draws to you the people, ideas, and events that fulfill your spoken word. This is the opposite of the energy of desperation, which repels the very good it seeks. Authority and faith create a steady stream, while desperation creates turbulence. By remaining steady in your declarations, you create a clear channel for your good to flow without obstruction. Another key element is gratitude. When you speak with gratitude for the good that is already yours in the unseen, you are affirming your authority over appearances. Gratitude spoken aloud is one of the highest forms of faith, because it assumes the gift is already given. This is why statements such as, "I give thanks that every door is open," carry such power. They combine authority, faith, and gratitude into a single vibrational command. Gratitude raises your consciousness to the level of the fulfilled desire. And at that level, manifestation is inevitable. Speaking with gratitude also softens resistance and allows your good to flow under grace, rather than through struggle. It is also essential to monitor your inner dialogue. Even if you speak affirmations aloud, if your inner speech is still filled with doubt, you dilute your power. Authority and faith must be practiced, both inwardly and outwardly. The words you think silently throughout the day are as important as the words you speak aloud. By disciplining your inner dialogue to match your spoken declarations, you create a seamless vibration that accelerates results. Inner conversations of faith and authority become a constant rehearsal of your desired reality, programming your subconscious and sending a steady signal to the universe. Over time, this internal and external alignment creates an unstoppable momentum toward your goals. Speaking with authority and faith rather than pleading or hoping also influences how others respond to you. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and clarity. Opportunities gravitate toward those who carry themselves as though they already belong in the space they desire to enter. Your words signal to others how to treat you, and to what extent to trust you. When you speak as one who expects good, you invite others to offer it. When you speak as one who doubts or fears, you invite others to mirror that energy. Thus, the way you speak not only shapes your inner state and the unseen forces, but also the human responses that make up your everyday reality. Authority and faith do not mean ignoring action, they empower action. When you speak with authority, you feel guided to take inspired steps. These steps unfold naturally, without strain, because they are aligned with the vibration you have established. Faith allows you to move forward even when you cannot see the entire path. Your words light the next step, and as you take it, the next door opens. This synergy between speech and action accelerates manifestation and builds even greater faith. Each time you see a declaration fulfilled, your confidence grows, and your words gain even more power. This self-reinforcing cycle eventually makes authority and faith your default state. Another dimension of this practice is patience. Authority and faith do not demand instant results but trust the timing of the universe. While some doors open immediately, others unfold in perfect sequence. Faith allows you to maintain your declaration without anxiety during the unfolding. Authority allows you to continue speaking your truth regardless of appearances. Together they keep you aligned with your highest good until it manifests. Impatience and doubt are forms of pleading. Patience and trust are forms of authority. By holding your vibration steady, you give the universe the space to arrange everything for your highest benefit, often in ways more perfect than you could have imagined. The practice of speaking with authority and faith rather than pleading or hoping also transforms your sense of self-worth. Each time you claim your good aloud, you affirm your worthiness to receive it. This dissolves subconscious barriers of guilt, shame, or limitation. Over time, you begin to feel naturally deserving of every blessing, and that sense of deservingness becomes another magnet drawing your good to you. This is the quiet confidence of one who knows their place in the divine order. It radiates through your words, your tone, and your presence, making you a living demonstration of the power you are speaking into existence. Finally, speaking with authority and faith creates a direct line to the intuitive guidance that will support your manifestations. When you affirm your alignment with the infinite, you open yourself to receive ideas, impulses, and synchronicities that guide you to the next right action. You become sensitive to the subtle nudges of spirit, and your path unfolds with a sense of ease and grace. This feedback loop between your spoken word and the intuitive direction you receive is one of the greatest benefits of this practice. Your words act as a beacon, signaling to the universe what you are ready for, and the universe responds with precise guidance and opportunities aligned to your vibration. Using precise affirmations to dissolve obstacles and open channels of good begins with understanding that every word spoken is a seed planted in the invisible soil of consciousness. Just as a farmer would never scatter seeds without knowing what he intends to grow, one must choose affirmations deliberately, shaping them with precision so that they carry the vibration of the desired outcome. The difference between a vague statement and a precise affirmation is the difference between a random wish and a spiritual command. When you craft your affirmations with exactness and clarity, you activate a law that responds with equal precision. Life mirrors back the vibration and the image embedded within your words, and circumstances, people, and opportunities begin to align with the blueprint you have spoken into existence. Obstacles, whether they appear as financial difficulties, health challenges, strained relationships, or blocked opportunities, are often crystallized thought patterns made visible. They are the residue of old beliefs, fears, or doubts that have taken form in your external experience. Precise affirmations work to dissolve these obstacles by introducing a new pattern into your subconscious and into the universal field of energy. Instead of focusing on the obstacle itself, you focus on the desired state beyond the obstacle. For example, rather than affirming, "I want to get out of debt," you affirm, "I am abundantly supplied and all obligations are met under grace." This bypasses the vibration of lack and installs the vibration of sufficiency. Over time, the old pattern loses its hold, and the new pattern becomes your lived reality. Crafting a precise affirmation requires clarity about what you truly desire. Vague affirmations produce vague results because they do not give the subconscious mind a clear image to accept, or the universal law a clear blueprint to fulfill. Instead of saying, "I hope things improve," say, "Every day in every way my life is unfolding in perfect harmony and abundance." Instead of, "I want to be healthier," affirm, "Every cell of my body is now filled with light, vitality, and perfect health." These kinds of statements are present tense, specific, and infused with the feeling of the fulfilled desire. They act as keys that unlock the door to the corresponding reality, guiding your thoughts, emotions, and actions into alignment with the outcome you have declared. Affirmations also open channels of good by dissolving the mental and emotional clutter that blocks your receptivity. When you repeat precise affirmations consistently, you train your subconscious to accept a new version of reality, and your outer world reorganizes itself accordingly. This is because the subconscious mind is the link between your conscious desire and the universal field of supply. By impressing the subconscious with clear, powerful statements, you instruct it to attract the conditions, people, and resources that match your declaration. The clearer your affirmation, the easier it is for your subconscious to enact it. The more you feel the reality of your affirmation as you speak it, the faster it becomes real for you. Another important factor in using precise affirmations to dissolve obstacles is consistency. A single statement of truth can create a shift, but repeated statements build momentum. Just as water dripping on stone eventually wears it down, repeated affirmations gradually wear away the hardened beliefs and thought patterns that form your obstacles. Consistency also deepens your own belief. Each time you repeat the affirmation, you reinforce the vibration and train your nervous system to accept it as true. This process of reprogramming creates a new baseline of expectation, and your life begins to rise to that baseline. The obstacle, once thought immovable, begins to fade because it no longer has energetic support. Affirmations also help you redirect your attention. Many obstacles persist because they are constantly fed by your focus. By focusing on the problem, you amplify it. By focusing on the solution through your affirmation, you withdraw energy from the problem and give energy to the new reality you desire. This is why it is essential to phrase affirmations in positive, present tense language. Instead of saying, "I am not worried," affirm, "I am calm, confident, and divinely guided." Instead of, "I don't want conflict," affirm, "I am surrounded by harmonious relationships." Each statement is a brushstroke painting a new picture of your life. Over time, that picture replaces the old one in your subconscious and in your external circumstances. When using affirmations to open channels of good, it is helpful to accompany them with a feeling of gratitude. Gratitude is the emotional proof of faith. When you give thanks for something as though it already exists, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive it. This accelerates manifestation and clears the path for your good to flow. For example, saying, "I give thanks that all channels of supply are now open to me," combines affirmation and gratitude into one powerful decree. Gratitude elevates your vibration, dissolves resistance, and opens your mind to creative ideas and intuitive nudges that guide you to your good. The language of affirmations should be simple and potent. Avoid complicated sentences or vague concepts. Speak directly using words that resonate with you and feel true to your heart. The subconscious mind responds best to vivid, concrete language. It does not question or analyze. It accepts what you give it repeatedly. Therefore, speak your affirmations with confidence and emotion, visualizing the outcome as you do. This sensory involvement magnifies their power. The more senses you engage, the more deeply the affirmation is imprinted. See it, hear it. Feel it as though it were already your reality. This is how affirmations move from mere words to living forces shaping your life. Another way precise affirmations dissolve obstacles is by shifting your identity. Each time you affirm something about yourself, you are telling your subconscious who you are. If you affirm, "I am prosperous," you are teaching your subconscious to recognize you as a prosperous person. When your subconscious accepts this, your thoughts, emotions, and actions automatically begin to align with that identity, and your environment follows. This identity shift is often the true key to dissolving obstacles, because most obstacles exist as a reflection of the old identity. When you become a new person through your affirmations, the old obstacles no longer match your vibration and thus fall away. Using affirmations also helps you become aware of the resistance within you. Sometimes, when you speak a powerful affirmation, you will feel an inner contradiction or hear a mental voice saying, "That's not true." This is valuable feedback. It shows you where your subconscious beliefs differ from your conscious desires. By persisting with your affirmations, you gradually overwrite the old beliefs. Each time you feel the inner resistance but choose to affirm anyway, you weaken the grip of the old pattern. Over time, the resistance diminishes and your affirmation feels natural. At that point, manifestation accelerates because there is no inner conflict blocking it. Affirmations open channels of good, not only within you but also around you. They influence the way others perceive and respond to you, attract opportunities that match your declared reality, and align your circumstances with your spoken word. For instance, if you affirm consistently, "I am a magnet for inspired ideas and supportive people," you will notice new connections, coincidences, and synchronicities appearing in your life. This is not random. It is the externalization of the vibration you have been holding. By using precise affirmations, you essentially send out a beacon to the universe, and the universe responds with matching signals, guiding you to your next steps. Another aspect of using affirmations is the willingness to act on the guidance you receive. Affirmations create a receptive state in which intuitive ideas can surface. These ideas often show you the practical steps to take to manifest your desired outcome. By acting on these ideas, you demonstrate faith and strengthen the connection between your inner declarations and your outer reality. This creates a feedback loop in which each action reinforces the belief, and each belief inspires more aligned action. Over time, this loop dismantles obstacles and turns them into stepping stones toward your good. Affirmations also train your nervous system to feel comfortable with greater levels of good. Many people unconsciously resist abundance, success, or happiness because it feels unfamiliar or unsafe. By affirming your right to these blessings, you gradually desensitize yourself to the fear of receiving them. Your mind and body become acclimated to higher levels of good, and as a result, you stop self-sabotaging or turning away opportunities. This expansion of your capacity to receive is one of the hidden benefits of using affirmations consistently and precisely. When crafting your affirmations, it can be powerful to write them down as well as speak them. Writing anchors them in the physical plane and gives you a visual reminder of your chosen reality. Reading them aloud daily, morning and night, imprints them more deeply. Over time, they become your automatic thoughts, replacing the old habitual thinking patterns that created your obstacles. This is not a quick fix but a process of transformation. Each day you repeat your affirmations, you are chiseling a new pathway in your mind and in the universal field, and that pathway leads directly to the channels of good you are opening. Finally, precise affirmations dissolve obstacles because they shift your perspective from problem to solution, from lack to sufficiency, from fear to faith. This shift in perspective is often all that is needed for the door to open. The moment you change your inner conversation, your outer world begins to reorganize itself. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable dissolve, paths that seemed blocked clear, and opportunities you never imagined become visible. Affirmations are not magic spells. They are tools for aligning your consciousness with the reality you desire. Once alignment occurs, the rest follows naturally. Through precise affirmations, you give the universe clear instructions, and the universe responds with precision, dissolving every barrier and opening every channel of good that is yours by divine right. Guarding speech to ensure every word carries power, faith, and certainty begins with the awareness that every utterance is creative. Every sound carries vibration, and every declaration sets into motion an invisible chain of effects. Words are never just casual noises, they are living seeds, coated with energy that shapes the atmosphere around you and the substance of your life. By guarding your speech, you take back the steering wheel of your reality. You stop scattering seeds randomly and instead sow only those that grow into the experiences you want. This is not about censorship or fear of saying the wrong thing, but about conscious stewardship of your creative faculty. Once you realize that your tongue holds the power to bless or to block, to open or to close, you naturally begin to speak with greater care and reverence. Guarding speech also involves recognizing the hidden habits that leak power. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own manifestations by using words of doubt, complaint, sarcasm, or self-deprecation. Each time you say, "I can't," "I never," "It's hard," "I'm unlucky," you are reinforcing a pattern of limitation and tightening the lock on the very doors you want to open. By contrast, when you speak words of faith, possibility, and certainty, you are loosening the grip of limitation and aligning yourself with the flow of good. The discipline of guarding your speech means catching yourself in the moment and choosing a higher statement. Instead of saying, "I'm so tired of this situation," you might say, "This situation is resolving for my highest good." Instead of, "I don't think it will work out," you could affirm, "Everything is unfolding perfectly for me." This shift in language is subtle yet profoundly powerful, because your words tell the subconscious what to expect, and they signal to the universe what to deliver. One way to guard speech is to establish a mental gatekeeper that monitors your inner dialogue as well as your spoken words. This is because the inner conversation is often the seedbed of the outer conversation. If you train yourself to think only in terms of what you desire and what you affirm as true, your spoken words will naturally reflect that. This practice may feel awkward at first, because it reveals how often negative or limiting statements have become automatic. But with time and persistence, the new habit forms. You begin to enjoy the sense of power and stability that comes from speaking only that which uplifts and empowers. Your speech becomes a clean channel through which divine energy flows, untainted by doubt or fear. Another aspect of guarding speech is understanding the vibrational quality of certainty. Words spoken with hesitancy, apology, or doubt lack the energy to shift reality. Words spoken with calm authority, confidence, and faith carry a vibration that penetrates the invisible and sets causes in motion. When you speak with certainty, you become like a tuning fork striking the exact frequency of the outcome you desire. Everything in the universe that resonates with that frequency begins to move toward you. This is why it is so important to choose words that reflect your desired reality and to speak them as if they were already true. This is not pretending or wishful thinking. It is aligning your speech with the higher reality that exists beyond appearances. Guarding your speech also means avoiding idle chatter that drains your energy. Gossip, complaining, excessive self-criticism, and dramatizing negativity all scatter your creative power. When you notice yourself engaging in these habits, pause and redirect. Replace them with affirmations, prayers, words of blessing, or even silence. Silence can be more powerful than careless words because it creates a space for your inner wisdom to arise. In that space, you can choose your next statement deliberately rather than reacting impulsively. This restraint is not repression but mastery. By holding your words until they are aligned with your highest truth, you preserve your vibrational integrity and send a clear, strong signal to the universe. When you guard your speech, you also begin to notice how others' words influence you. It becomes easier to discern when a conversation or environment is lowering your vibration. You develop the strength to disengage or to counteract negative speech with your own affirmations. By surrounding yourself with uplifting language, whether through books, teachings, or companions, you reinforce your commitment to speaking only words of power, faith, and certainty. This creates a virtuous circle in which your environment and your speech continually elevate each other. Over time, you find that your entire reality shifts, because the language you live in has shifted. A powerful way to ensure your words carry power is to infuse them with feeling. Mechanically repeating affirmations or platitudes does little. But speaking with genuine emotion, conviction, and visualization turns your words into living decrees. Before you speak an affirmation, pause to feel its truth. Imagine it as already accomplished. Sense the relief, the joy, the gratitude of the fulfilled desire. Then speak from that feeling. This emotional charge is the spark that ignites the seed of your words, propelling them into manifestation. Without feeling, words are inert. With feeling, they are magnetic. Guarding your speech thus includes cultivating the inner state that matches your outer declarations. Another dimension of this practice is learning to pause before responding, especially in moments of stress. When triggered, the impulse is to blurt out words of anger, fear, or complaint. These words then reinforce the very conditions you want to escape. By pausing, breathing, and choosing a higher response, you reclaim your power. You can say to yourself silently, "I choose to speak words of power," and wait until you feel composed before replying. This single act of self-mastery can prevent countless setbacks and can gradually retrain your nervous system to default to faith and certainty rather than to fear and reaction. Guarding speech also extends to the way you speak about others. Words of criticism, judgment, or resentment toward others lower your own vibration and block your channels of good. Blessing others with your words, even silently, raises your vibration and opens new pathways of grace. When you speak kindly and affirmingly of others, you are also speaking to the divine presence within them, which strengthens your own connection to that presence. This habit creates an atmosphere of goodwill around you, attracting people and circumstances that resonate with your elevated speech. The practice of blessing is an especially potent form of guarded speech. Each time you bless a situation or a person, you are aligning with the flow of divine energy. You are saying, in effect, "I see the highest good here, and I affirm it." This dissolves resentment and fear, making space for harmony and abundance to flow. Blessings can be as simple as saying, "I bless this day," "I bless my work," "I bless my finances," or "I bless the path ahead." Each blessing plants a seed of light that grows into a corresponding form. This is how guarded speech not only prevents harm, but actively creates good. Guarding your speech also involves being deliberate with declarations about your identity. The phrase, "I am," is especially powerful because it precedes the qualities you are affirming as your own. Each time you say, "I am tired," "I am broke," "I am unlucky," you bind yourself to that identity. Each time you say, "I am strong," "I am abundant," "I am guided," you align with that identity. Over time, these statements form the framework of your reality. By guarding your use of "I am," you wield one of the most potent tools of creation. Speak only "I am" statements that match your highest vision of yourself. Another important element is consistency over time. Guarding speech is not a one-time effort, but a lifelong practice of refinement. As you evolve, your words evolve. As your consciousness expands, your language becomes more luminous, more aligned, more potent. Each stage of growth invites a new level of precision and discipline in your speech. By committing to this ongoing practice, you ensure that your words remain living forces of creation, rather than empty noises. This commitment builds an inner reservoir of faith and certainty that radiates through everything you say and do. It is also beneficial to bring a sense of sacredness to your words. Before you speak an important affirmation or prayer, you can take a moment to center yourself, breathe deeply, and acknowledge the divine presence within you. This shifts your speech from a mechanical act to a spiritual ceremony. The words you then speak are imbued with the awareness of their creative power. Over time, this ritualization strengthens your connection to the unseen forces that respond to your words, making each declaration more effective and more immediate in its results. Guarding your speech does not mean you must be perfect or never slip. It means you are willing to observe yourself, to correct course, and to continually elevate your language. When you notice a negative statement, you can immediately neutralize it with a higher one. If you say, "I can't," you can follow with, "I cancel that. I can and I will under grace." This self-correction prevents old patterns from regaining strength and reinforces your commitment to speaking only that which you wish to experience. Over time, the higher language becomes automatic, and your speech flows naturally from a place of power, faith, and certainty. When you fully embrace the practice of guarding your speech, you begin to notice a deep inner calm. You are no longer at the mercy of reactive thoughts or words. You stand as the conscious author of your spoken reality, knowing that each syllable has consequence. This calm confidence radiates into your interactions. your environment, and your manifestations. People sense your steadiness and are drawn to it. Opportunities align with the clarity of your vibration. Challenges resolve more easily because your words no longer reinforce them, but instead call forth their highest resolution. This is the essence of mastering your speech, to use every word as an instrument of creation, a declaration of faith, and a conduit of certainty, recognizing words as decrees that invoke divine order and instant manifestation, begins with understanding that language is not merely descriptive but creative, not only a tool for communication, but a force that shapes reality. Every word you speak is a decree that sets invisible forces into motion, whether you are aware of it or not. When you say something with conviction, you are in effect issuing a command to the unseen realm, and that command arranges circumstances, draws people, and shifts energies to bring itself into expression. This is why careless words produce careless results, and why deliberate, faith-filled words produce deliberate, grace-filled results. The universe does not distinguish between a joke, a complaint, or a solemn statement. It responds to the energy and authority behind the words. To recognize your words as decrees is to step into the role of co-creator with the divine, understanding that you are continually shaping the patterns of your life with the vibrations you release through your tongue. When you begin to see your words as decrees, you naturally shift from idle talk to purposeful speech. You understand that every statement you make is planting a seed in the soil of universal substance. This perspective transforms affirmations from a mechanical exercise into a sacred practice. You realize that when you say, "I am," you are invoking the creative presence of the infinite within you. Each quality you attach to "I am" becomes a blueprint for your experience. Saying, "I am strong," calls forth strength. Saying, "I am provided for," calls forth provision, and saying, "I am guided," calls forth guidance. This is not superstition but alignment with spiritual law. Like attracts like, vibration calls vibration, and what you decree returns to you amplified. As you become more aware of this principle, you begin to speak only those decrees that match the life you wish to live. Another aspect of recognizing words as decrees is learning to speak as if what you desire is already accomplished. This is the language of certainty that opens doors instantly. When you say, "It is done, I accept it now," or "This is already mine by divine right," you are affirming a reality beyond appearances. These decrees transcend time and space, calling into the present moment the essence of what you seek. They signal to the subconscious mind and the universal mind alike that the manifestation is not future but now. This shift from hoping to knowing, from wishing to decreeing, carries immense creative power. It removes the doubt that delays manifestation and replaces it with the authority that accelerates it. Recognizing words as decrees also means that you stop using words to describe conditions you do not want to perpetuate. Instead of talking about lack, you decree abundance. Instead of rehearsing problems, you decree solutions. Instead of amplifying fear, you decree peace. This is not denial but mastery. You acknowledge the appearance of a situation, but you speak the higher truth about it, knowing that your words shape the outcome. You may see a closed door, but you decree that it opens under grace. You may see confusion, but you decree clarity. You may see delay, but you decree swift and perfect results. Each decree acts like a key in a lock, turning the mechanism of the unseen until the door swings wide. This practice also involves cultivating the tone and feeling that match your decrees. A decree spoken without conviction is weak, but a decree spoken with calm authority and faith resonates through the invisible realms. You do not need to strain or shout, you need only to know. This knowing gives your words weight and magnetism. It infuses them with the creative fire that brings them to pass. Before speaking a decree, you can pause, center yourself, and feel the reality of what you are declaring. You can see it in your mind, feel it in your heart, and then let your words become the bridge between the invisible and the visible. This conscious process turns each decree into a living, breathing force. Recognizing words as decrees also means recognizing their cumulative power. Each declaration builds upon the last, creating momentum in the unseen. Just as repeated drops of water can carve stone, repeated decrees of truth can carve a new reality. This is why consistency matters. One decree of abundance may plant a seed, but daily decrees of abundance water and nurture that seed until it sprouts. This is not repetition for its own sake but reinforcement of a vibrational pattern, until it becomes your default state. Over time, the decrees you make become the atmosphere you live in, and manifestations unfold with greater ease and speed, because your words and your energy are in continual agreement. Another important dimension is the willingness to release decrees of the past that no longer serve you. Many people are living under the influence of words they spoke years ago, words of limitation, self-criticism, or fear. By acknowledging the creative power of your past speech, you can consciously revoke or neutralize those decrees and replace them with new ones aligned with your present vision. You might say, I cancel any words I have spoken that no longer serve my highest good. I replace them now with words of power, love, and abundance. This act clears the energetic field of outdated instructions and opens space for the new decrees to take root. Recognizing words as decrees also changes the way you speak about others. Each time you speak of someone, you are in a sense issuing a decree about them as well. Blessing others with your words lifts both you and them into higher vibrations. When you say, she is thriving, he is guided, they are blessed, you are contributing to a field of grace that benefits everyone involved, including yourself. This practice of blessing dissolves envy and competition, replacing them with unity and mutual upliftment. It also reinforces your own belief in the power of decrees, because you see evidence of them working not only in your life but in the lives of others. Another level of mastery comes when you use decrees proactively rather than reactively. Instead of waiting for challenges to arise and then declaring solutions, you can set the tone of your day with morning decrees. You can decree success, ease, harmony, and protection before stepping out into the world. These proactive decrees act like a shield and a magnet, repelling unwanted conditions and attracting desired ones. By setting your vibrational field in advance, you make it much easier for doors to open instantly, because you are already attuned to the frequency of openness and opportunity. This daily discipline becomes a way of life, turning your words into a constant stream of creative power. Recognizing words as decrees also invites a sense of reverence for silence. Sometimes the most powerful decree is the one you hold inwardly until the right moment to speak. This is because silence allows your inner knowing to mature and your energy to consolidate. When you do speak, your decree carries the weight of concentrated intention. Silence also prevents you from scattering your creative power through idle talk. By alternating periods of silence with purposeful speech, you create a rhythm of inner and outer power that enhances the effectiveness of every word you utter. A crucial element in this practice is gratitude. When you issue a decree, following it with gratitude anchors it in the present moment. Gratitude is a declaration of receipt. By saying, thank you that this is already done. After your decree, you align your vibration with fulfillment. This combination of decree and gratitude creates a powerful energetic circuit that draws manifestation quickly. Gratitude also keeps your focus on the positive, reinforcing your faith and preventing you from slipping back into words of doubt or complaint. Another dimension of recognizing words as decrees is realizing that every word carries an image, and every image evokes a feeling. By choosing words that are vivid, uplifting, and aligned with your vision, you paint a mental picture that your subconscious mind works to fulfill. Instead of vague statements, you can use clear, specific decrees that leave no ambiguity. This clarity accelerates manifestation because the universal mind knows exactly what to bring forth. The clearer the decree, the clearer the result. This is why it is beneficial to spend time crafting your key decrees, making sure they reflect precisely the reality you wish to create. As you live this practice, you start to see doors open in ways that feel almost miraculous. Opportunities arise, synchronicities increase, and obstacles dissolve because your words have become aligned with divine order. You no longer doubt whether you have the power to change your life, because you see the evidence unfolding before your eyes. This reinforces your faith, which in turn strengthens your decrees, creating a self-sustaining cycle of manifestation. Over time, your entire relationship to language transforms. Words are no longer casual but sacred, no longer reactive but creative, no longer weak but potent with the authority of divine law. This understanding also frees you from fear of circumstances, because you know that your decrees override appearances. Even in the midst of challenge, you can stand firm in your spoken word, declaring the higher truth until it manifests. This steadiness transmits an energy of confidence to those around you, and they too begin to respond to your decrees. You become a center of calm and order in the midst of chaos, because your words anchor divine order wherever you go. This is the essence of invoking divine order with your speech, to speak the pattern of harmony so clearly and consistently that the world rearranges itself to match it ultimately. Recognizing words as decrees that invoke divine order and instant manifestation is about reclaiming your natural power as a creator. It is about aligning your speech with the unseen intelligence that governs all things, trusting that each decree you make is heard and acted upon by that intelligence. By living in this awareness, you step into a partnership with the infinite, using your words as instruments of transformation. You are no longer at the mercy of chance, but the conscious author of your destiny, shaping your life with the sacred tool of your spoken word.